Hello students, let's discuss the conditions that favor the process of self-pollination. Number one is bisexuality. Bisexuality is when male and female parts are present in a same flower. Then that type of flowers are called bisexual flowers. So this favors self-pollination. Second is homogamy. Homogamy means that anther and stigma, they mature at the same time. Now there are some advantages and some disadvantages of self-pollination. Let us first discuss the advantages of self-pollination. Number one is it is much sure in such bisexual flowers where stamens and carpels mature at the same time. Number two is that parental characters are preserved in this type of pollination. Parental characters are preserved means the individuals, the plants that are formed, offsprings are similar to their parents, and there is no wastage of pollen grains. Plants need not to be showy, not to produce nectar. So this process is a economical process for the plant. There are some disadvantages also. Number one disadvantage is that if the plant keep on reproducing by this method, keep on doing self-pollination, that then it may lead to weakening of the variety or the species, and the seeds produced through it are poor in quality and give rise to less vigorous offsprings. Number two is if there is any defect in the parent plant, then the offsprings may contain the same defect and new varieties cannot be produced by this method. Second is cross-pollination. Cross-pollination is when the pollen grains from one flower goes to the stigma of flower of same species present on another plant. Now in this condition, the flowers remain open. The petals are generally large and flowers remain open, and this condition is called chasmo, and such type of flowers are called chasmogamous flowers. Advantages of cross-pollination. The plants produced by this method are healthier. The seeds produced are abundant and viable also. And new varieties can also be produced by this method. There are some disadvantages also. Disadvantages that the plants need to be showy. They need to produce nectar for attracting the pollinating agents like insects. Pollen grains has to be produced in very large number. So this method is not an economic method for a plant. Nature favors cross-pollination. Now there are some conditions that favor the process of cross-pollination. First is unisexuality, means male flower is different, female flower is different. They may be present on the same plant or they may be present on a different plant. So if they are present on a different plants, then it favors cross-pollination. Second condition is dichogamy. Dichogamy means that androecium and gynoecium matures at different time. Now there may be two conditions in it. Number one is protandry. Protandry means androecium matures first, gynoecium matures later. Second condition is protogyny. Protogyny means gynoecium mature first and androecium matures later. Third condition is called self-sterility. Self-sterility means if the pollen grains falls on the stigma of the same flower, then they do not mature there. Fourth condition is called hercogamy. Hercogamy means the barrier. It means in some flowers the stigma is covered so that the pollen grains of the same flower cannot reach it. They may be covered by a hood-like covering, as in case of iris flower. Third is heterostyly. Heterostyly means different length of stigma and the pollens that are produced. In such flowers, the stigma and anthers grow at different heights. So these all are the conditions that favor the process of cross-pollination. Now we come to the agents of cross-pollination. Now this cross-pollination can be carried out by insect, by wind, by air, or by some animals also. If it is carried out by insects, then it is called entomophilous. The flowers are called entomophilous flower. Now insect pollinated flowers are large. They are brightly colored, they are scented, they contain nectar, and the pollen grains are sticky. Stigma is also sticky, and they may be produced in clusters. Though all these are to attract the insects. Wind pollination means anemophilous flowers. Flowers are small. They need not to be showy or scenty. They need not to be bright colored. Generally, they are white in color. Their stamens are long and hang out. And the anthers are large and loosely attached. Pollen grains are produced in very large quantity in wind pollinated flowers. Pollen grains are generally dry, light, and smooth so that they can be easily carried away by wind. And stigma is feathery and hang out, and it takes the pollen grains that are blowing with the wind. Next is water pollination. Water pollinated flowers are called hydrophilous flowers. Pollen grains are produced in large number. Pollen grains have the specific gravity almost equal to the specific gravity of water, so they just remain inside the water and flow. In some species, male flowers are such that they float on the surface of water, such as in case of Vallisneria. It floats until it meets the male flower. Female flower. Some flowers are pollinated by birds also. So such are called, or this condition is called ornithophily. This type of pollination is called ornithophily. In case of Rafflesia, that is the largest flower, the pollination is carried out by elephants and it is called elephophily.